Could a trade for Brook Lopez be on the horizon for Leon Rose and the New York Knicks? We're going to break that down on today's show. Also, a new person has joined the CAA Mafia, which means they could be a trade target for the Knicks. We'll break that sharpshooting big man down. But let's start with the 36-year-old center from the Milwaukee Bucks, as Gary Waffle, I believe that's how you say his last name, is an insider for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he reported this. Quote, sources claim the Bucks are still very receptive to trading veteran Brook Lopez, but the Bucks' asking price of a first-round draft pick for a 36-year-old center with a $23 million contract is too rich. And I would be shocked at this point if a team gives up a first-round pick for Brook Lopez, or if the Bucks are able to get any sort of draft compensation outside of second-round picks for Lopez. Look, he's 36 years old, but still a really good player, and he could still give you a couple of good seasons. It was just 2 years ago when he finished second in Defensive Player of the Year. He's 7 foot tall, 280 pounds, and he has really transcended his play style and archetype. Went from a guy that operated with his back to the basket when playing for the Brooklyn Nets, and now with the Bucks, he is a sharpshooting big man, operates at a high level of efficiency in catch-and-shoot situations, and still is one of the best rim protectors in the league. And that is something that the New York Knicks could definitely benefit from adding. Mark Berman, former insider for the New York Knicks of the New York Post, tweeted out this morning that Leon Rose was in the first row of the presser yesterday with Mikal Bridges' mother. He didn't talk, but he's still cooking. Wants to make a big center move after Philadelphia 76ers 2 additions. He has heard that Houston's Alperen Sengun has been on the radar, even Detroit's Jalen Duren, and that was before the Pistons signed Paul Reed. The reason I bring this up is because Leon Rose is up to something, and I do believe that he is going into every crevice and every corner of the trade market and free agency to go out and add a talented big man to this roster. There is no way the New York Knicks just gave up control of 6 first-round picks and gave OG Anunoby $212 million to have Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims, and Ariel Hukporti as the 3-man center rotation for this ball club. That's not going to happen. So let's talk about Brook Lopez as a potential trade target for the Knicks, as it seems like the Bucks are listening to offers. Look, he's 7 foot, prototypical size, and has become a sharpshooter from downtown. This past year shot 36.6%, the year before 37.4%, and the year before that 35.8%. And over the last 4 seasons, he is averaging close to 4.5 three-pointers attempted per game. So good efficiency on high volume. He operates extremely well in the, I would say, pick and pop type of ball game. And that is what the New York Knicks would benefit from if you do look at this starting lineup. Mikal Bridges at the 2, Jalen Brunson at the 1, OG Anunoby at the 3, Julius Randle at the 4, with Brook Lopez at the 5. You would have a good little balance of a pick and pop type of offense that you could go to, and I think that that's something the New York Knicks need. They have a corner guy in Mikal Bridges. They have a corner guy in OG Anunoby. You have a corner guy in Dante DiVincenzo. You don't really have anyone that can run that pick and pop with Brunson, and that's where you see Brook Lopez has done most of his damage. Look at the above-the-break three-pointers. That is essentially any three that's not in the corner or on the wing, and he shot 345 of those this past year for the Bucks, knocking them down at a 36% clip. That's where he does his damage. The Knicks could use another way to space the floor for Brunson, Randle, Anunoby, Bridges, Hart, and everybody else to get downhill. He shoots really well from the right corner, not so much from the left, but still an elite catch-and-shoot three-point guy at 37.6%. Pick and pop, and an elite shot blocker as well. He was second in Defensive Player of the Year in 2022, 2023, and he's still a player that challenges almost every single shot at the rim. He makes drivers think twice about going down there and trying to be creative. Last year, 2.4 blocks. Year before, 2.5 blocks. The question is, though, would you take him as your big man over over Mitchell Robinson? Because if you're trading for Lopez, you're probably giving up Robinson to make the salary work. $23 million, $14 would have to add more to this. We'll talk more about a trade package, but let me know. Pick a big, Brook or Mitch. For all of the reasons that I listed for Brook Lopez, I do think it takes the New York Knicks offense to another level. And I think the defense would be fine as well. You'd lose some juice on the rebounding because Brook Lopez over the last 4 years is averaging just 5.5 rebounds per game. But I'm going to take Mitchell Robinson for one reason and one reason only. Mitch is 26, Lopez is 36. I know the window to win is right now for the New York Knicks, but if you're going to trade Robinson as well as other pieces, you're probably looking for somebody that has more upside, more potential, and is a little bit more runway on the track before the finish line in their career, unlike Brook Lopez. A trade package for Lopez does get a little bit wonky, and I was hesitant to even talk about this on the channel, but multiple people have reached out and said, Marshall, when are you going to break down Brook Lopez? He'd be a great center for us. And I think he would on paper, but he's 36 and he makes $23 million. The only real way I see this deal getting done is if it's a 3-team trade, which is always unlikely, or the Knicks go out and do a sign-and trade for Precious Achiuwa to make $9 million a year to go to the Bucks with Mitchell Robinson to get back Brook Lopez. And I don't know if I'm even trading. I'll just say I'm not trading Brook Lopez or Mitchell Robinson for Brook Lopez. I would want draft compensation back from them because one is 26 and one is 36. I like the fit on paper, but I think what I like more so is adding a center that could stretch the floor, play make, and be a guy that still protects the rim. The Knicks can go out and find somebody better and younger than Brook Lopez. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because if a trade happens, we got you covered. When Knicks news, when Knicks rumors, when Knicks moves come out, we get you guys videos, so subscribe and turn your notifications on. Shout out to Santi Aldama, another player blooded in to the CAA Mafia. And look, when you join the Mafia, you also join the list of New York Knicks trade targets, officially signing with CAA. And with the Grizzlies having a surplus of big men on this roster, could it mean that Aldama is on the trade block? We know they just spent the number 9 overall pick for Zach Edey. I think by the end of the year, he'll probably be their starting big man. We know Jared Jackson is in a long-term future as well for the Memphis Grizzlies. Brandon Clark is someone that they have a high expectation for. And then you have Santi Aldama, the 6'11", sharpshooting big man, 215 pounds, 23 years old. Last year averaged almost 11 points per game. Look, I don't even know if Aldama could be a starting center in this league, but I do think he could be someone that comes off the bench, plays more 4, and then plays some occasional 5 and small ball lineups. The thing I like most about him is he can hit that outside shot. Last year, he shot 34.9% from downtown, his best mark of his career, and he did that on 5 attempts per game. He's also a decent playmaker as well, averaging 2.3 assists this past season to go with just under 1 block per game, 11 points per night, and nearly 6 boards hauled in. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm also not saying that it won't happen. I just think, as I've covered this team for 3.5 years at this point, you pay attention to the little things. OG Anunoby signed with CAA. He became a member of CAA. Josh Hart, CAA. Jalen Brunson, CAA. Julius Randle leaves CAA, then comes back to CAA, and now we're talking contract extensions. Pay attention to the little things. Read the tea leaves. Aldama, he is definitely going to be a target for the Knicks as he is now a part of the Mafia. Make sure you are following me on social media, at Twitter, at Instagram, at @MarshallGreen_. That's what that means. Find me over there, and let's talk Knicks.